Welcome to 4Sports. What took Manchester United to reach the FA Cup final? Is it talent, tenacity, individual brilliance, or just a touch of magic and luck? Well, we can assure you it's been a roller coaster of all sorts. The journey began at DW Stadium, where Manchester United booked their place in the FA Cup, fourth round, after a dominant 2-0 win over Wigan Athletic, who were somewhat fortunate to escape with a narrow defeat as the Red Devils struggled in front of goal. Wigan could have had a few complaints about the result, though there was some questions around Fernandes' theatrics for the penalty in a one-sided third-round clash. In the fourth round, United would visit Newport County, who were the winners of the replay between them and non-league side Eastleigh. Next stop, Newport. A nervy United side, led by the inspirational Antony, overcame a potential Newport comeback. They certainly didn't make an easy job of it, but that late rally gave Manchester United a 4-2 win over Newport County and sealed their passage into the fifth round of the FA Cup. Morris's first half pile driver had already got the Exiles faithful off their feet, and Will Evans's equalizer, just 2 minutes into the second half, sparked absolute bedlam, locking the hosts up at 2-2 and giving the shell-shocked visitors a mountain to climb. Chances came and went for both Fernandes and Martinez, before Shaw's curling finish came back off the post, and Antony tapped home the rebound to restore United's lead. Newport pressed for yet another equalizer with goal scorers Evans and Morris testing Bayendier from range, but the Red Devils would have the final say, splitting the Exiles through the middle for Rasmus Højlund to net their fourth via another rebounded shot. Having dug deep to avoid one of the FA Cup's ultimate giant killings, the Red Devils headed into the fifth round to face either Bristol City or Nottingham Forest, while Newport's journey in the tournament ended after giving the best possible account of themselves. Then came Nottingham Forest in the fifth round. Manchester United sneaked into the quarter-finals of the FA Cup by the very narrowest of margins as Casemiro's late header edged a 1-0 win over Nottingham Forest at the City ground. The hosts were aggrieved they didn't make United pay in the second half, spurning several chances to score as Awoniyi, Origi, Murillo, and Gibbs-White all forced Onana into last-ditch stops. Antony, Fernandes, and Rashford all did likewise at the other end, as both teams' lack of potency left a lot to be desired, until Casemiro popped up in the 89th minute to head the visitors in front from Fernandes' smart free kick. Forest's journey in the competition ended in the last 16, which meant they missed out on a third trip to Wembley in as many seasons, while the quarterfinals beckoned for United, who hung on for a VR extended period of added time, and reached the FA Cup quarterfinals for a record-breaking 48th time. Sixth round, quarterfinal brought Liverpool at Old Trafford. No need for introductions of these two English giants and their rivalry, but in the end, United came on top. Diallo scored a 121st-minute winner to send United through to the semi-final with a famous 4-3 win over Liverpool. It was a roller coaster of a game, which started with an early goal for McTominay, before Liverpool flipped things around just before the break. McAllister and Salah got the goals, and Liverpool held on for most of the second half, unable to add to their advantage. Antony came off the bench to equalize in the 87th minute, forcing extra time. And just when the first half of that looked like it would peter out, Elliott's deflected effort hit the bottom corner. United weren't done yet, and when Tsimikas gave the ball away, Rashford took advantage by equalizing. Another substitute in Diallo got the winner as he finished off a brilliant, quick counter-attack by beating Kelleher with his low shot. He was sent off for a second booking seconds later for taking his shirt off in celebration, but the hosts saw out the last minutes of stoppage time. United would move on to face Coventry City at Wembley in the last four, while Liverpool's hopes of a quadruple trophy haul were ended with that exit. The nerve-wracking semi-finals, Coventry City against Manchester United. It was a bright start for the Red Devils, with Maguire and McTominay striking in the first half, meaning they went into the break at 2-0. After halftime, Coventry came out the blocks fast, but Ten Hag's side found a third as Fernandes' deflected effort found its way into the back of the net. Sims arrived in the box to fire home later in the game, which sparked an incredible comeback from the championship outfit. O'Hare managed to make it 3-2 with a long-range effort that looped up into the air off Wan-Bissaka and landed in the bottom corner. With just seconds remaining of the 90, Coventry were awarded a penalty after Wan-Bissaka handled inside the box, and Wright tucked it home to send the game to extra time. There were plenty of tired legs on the Wembley Stadium turf as they headed for another 30 minutes of action, and the Sky Blues thought they had won it in the final moments as Torp pounced in the penalty area to poke home a right cross, but it was disallowed for offside after a VR check. Extra time ended, penalties were next. It was heartbreak for Robbins and his team in the penalty shootout, with O'Hare and Sheaf both missing, and Rasmus Højlund scoring the winning spot kick to send his side into the final of the FA Cup, after winning 4-2 on penalties against Coventry City, with the scoreline level at 3-3 after extra time. A bit of stats here. Manchester United reached the FA Cup final for a record 22nd time, reaching the final in back-to-back seasons for the first time since doing so in 2003 to 2004 and 2004 to 2005. They also become the first team to progress through an FA Cup semi-final via penalties in back-to-back seasons, having also eliminated Brighton and Hove Albion at this stage last season. And now, the stage is set. Manchester United will take on Manchester City at Wembley Stadium on Saturday, May 25th. It's the first ever time that the FA Cup final will be contested by both Manchester clubs. It's a chance for the Reds to lift their second piece of silverware of the season, following the Carabao Cup success in February. The anticipation is palpable, the stakes are high. With 5 wins in their last 6 FA Cup meetings with Man City, they have history on their side. But most importantly, in Manchester Derby, in the FA Cup final. This has been Manchester United's road to Wembley. Where will you be watching it from? Will Manchester be red or blue? Tell us in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new here. We catch up in the next one.